Thanks, Haley. So we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you everybody for being here. My name's Carson Moore and I'm joined with the rest of the Business Development Subcommittee along with a couple of our advisors who help us plan the Undergraduate Business Symposium. Um, we're going to provide a brief overview of the 37th Annual Undergraduate Symposium, and then we'll have time for questions. So feel free to add questions to the chat as they arise, and we'll eventually address them. But we'll also have time at the end of the presentation to chat and answer any of your questions live. So on the next slide, we wanted to begin with some past company testimonials. I'll give you a minute to scan these reviews, but definitely want to underscore that Symposium has proven over its 37-year history to attract and retain top companies year after year. Companies like P&G indicate that it's a no-brainer to attend Symposium. Cisco has integrated Symposium as a staple in their recruitment strategy, and Comcast has recognized Symposium is a rare opportunity to connect with students. Again, I'll give you a second to scan these reviews. And then in the same vein, I'll pass it along to Ashritha, who's going to continue to explain why Symposium stands apart from other networking events.
Awesome. Thank you, Carson. Symposium has been, like Carson said, the undergraduate business program's oldest and largest student-run professional development event in the country. And it's actually led to a lot of meaningful connections between our students and company representatives, as you could see in our past testimonials. But one thing to note is that it isn't exactly your typical career fair. Career fairs are shorter in length, therefore don't always, really induce the most meaningful conversation or engagements. As well as this, there isn't really much specialization as concerned with resumes, as they are generally connected without really tailoring to company needs. And representatives like yourselves sometimes find themselves having repetitive and superficial conversations with students due to the fact that career fairs are much shorter in time and they don't really span a much longer of a time as Symposium does. So UBP Symposium alleviates these concerns by making this a 3-day event. It creates an intimate and matched resume exchange system, which all in all helps to create long-lasting ties with students. But, what else does Symposium offer? So Platinum sponsors actually see the benefit of being able to hand select the best and brightest students to hold networking sessions with. And as well as this, companies can be segmented into industry-specific programs where companies see interest from specific students who have a larger interest in such industries, and companies can also hand select students in this group as well. So diversity inclusion programming is also a large part of our event, where underrepresented groups are further connected to representatives. And lastly, to tie it off, a virtual large group networking opportunity is provided to tie up the event. So one thing that is important to note is that through this 3-day event, companies also get to reap the reward of exclusive company marketing opportunities, especially right before most of their hiring dates. So with career fairs being much less in depth and shorter in time, company marketing isn't really a huge factor during these, but with Symposium, students are actually able to get firsthand engagement with these companies at crucial times for company recruitment. So for students, information is usually really fresh in their minds about various companies and what they're thinking about. So now we can go further into the 3-day event. So this entails in a diversity networking night, a platinum sponsorship networking night, and consequently the Symposium main event. So diversity networking night, like mentioned before, gives sponsors this opportunity to meet with students from historically underrepresented populations. Last year we had 204 students come and 19 employers attend. And right after that, we have Platinum Night, which offers sponsors a much more exclusivity to engage with selected exceptional students. And students also get to select the companies that they are interested in as well, which is considered the matching process. So our numbers last year were around 234 students with a much more exclusive number of 6 employers. And lastly, the main event gives sponsors more opportunity to interact with students through interactive programming sessions and ways to just tie up, the conversations and engagements they had from the past 2 nights. And since this was our main event, numbers were much higher, as 403 students and 34 employers attended. But the main question still remains as to how is Symposium going to work virtually this year. So with last year seeing a pivot to going virtual, we are hoping to actually carry on that success. With Zoom's presentation features and breakout options, Virtual Symposium actually has really great options to host a symposium online virtually. And there will be virtual event marketing through presentation mode. And if anything goes wrong with logistics, there's also going to be extensive Zoom support. And even better, actually, sponsors can speak with students through the Zoom chat service as well, which they probably wouldn't have gotten if they were in person and if they wanted to have more exclusive chats with them outside of just the night. And with personalized schedules that would be sent through Crowd Compass, students and reps are actually set up to make sure that the event is, logistically aligned so that everyone gets the best experience. So overall, sponsors and students actually do see a convenience value in being able to attend virtual symposium from the ease of their houses and or their offices, whichever is easier. And coupled with, like I mentioned, the Zoom support features, extensive scheduling beforehand, virtual symposium will prove to be a seamless pivot from previous years. So now I'll pass it off to Carson again, who will speak more about past testimonials again and specific sponsorship levels.
Yeah, thanks, Ashritha. So we really want to address any reservations that you might have about Symposium being held virtually. So to address these concerns, we want to underscore that this will not be our first time holding Symposium virtually. And more so, we received a lot of positive feedback after last year's virtual event. Some employers in attendance indicated that the virtual Symposium was the best yet, and others indicated that they preferred the virtual event to being in person. Still, though, we have reduced pricing at each sponsorship level by 50% to reflect that the event will be taking place virtually. And I think we're all hoping to be back in person in 2022. But with that being said, we want to turn to our sponsorship levels. So starting with bronze, this is the entry level sponsorship. And at bronze, companies are able to bring 2 representatives to the concourse networking event, which will take place on Friday, September 10th. The concourse networking event is a 3-hour session, similar to what you might see at a career fair, where reps are able to interact and connect with students who have interest in their company. And then bronze sponsors also have access to a searchable resume book and will get social media and website coverage. But at this point, I want to underscore a key component of Symposium's value across the board, which is connection and access to more than 400 students from a variety of majors and from Kenan-Flagler Business School. So if we break this down a little bit further, Kenan-Flagler is consistently ranked as a top 10 undergraduate business program. So the students at our event are some of the best and brightest in the country. And secondly, as we've all seen during the last year, there are many challenges to virtual networking and incentivizing students to attend virtual events. But the success of our virtual event last year, which pulled in 403 students, has proved that we're able to attract a large quantity of high quality students, and we expect to do the same again this year. Now we're going to shift gears to the silver sponsorship level. And this level allows companies to bring 3 representatives to the concourse networking event, but it also offers access to 2 1-hour and 15-minute interactive networking sessions. And these workshops are tailored to students and companies' respective industry interests and allow employers ample time to build meaningful connections with students. And we really believe that these interactive networking sessions or workshops are a factor that start to differentiate Symposium from other career and networking events. They're definitely a big perk of Symposium and the silver sponsorship level. With that being said, I'm now going to hand it along to Haley to explain the gold sponsorship level.
Yeah, so the gold sponsorship is a step up from the silver sponsorship. So you are going to be getting everything that's included within bronze and silver, including the email marketing, being listed on the website, social media coverage, promotion in the newsletter. You'll have access to those industry-specific workshops and be able to have those conversations with students. But the big value with the gold sponsorship is that you'll have 4 company representatives for the concourse networking and 1 representative for the diversity networking night. Diversity networking night is very valuable because this is a chance to have conversations with students about diversity in the workplace, and you can get to know them really on a more personal level rather than just professional. You can get to know their morals and values and their outlooks on the workplace. So the gold sponsorship definitely has a lot of value for that reason. And I'm going to pass it off to Jason, who will explain the highest tier sponsorship, which is platinum.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Haley. So next up is the platinum sponsorship, which is the level that provides the most comprehensive and complete symposium experience. In addition to all the features and perks of the bronze, silver, and gold sponsorship levels, platinum sponsors will be able to bring a total of 6 company reps to the Symposium main event on Friday, September the 10th, and 2 reps to the Diversity Networking Night on Wednesday, September the 8th. And of course, there's much more. Platinum sponsors will also receive branding and promotion throughout the event, spotlight on our website, and post-event marketing. Now you might ask, how will post-event marketing be helpful? Well, during the intense recruiting season, when many students are flooded with a nearly infinite amount of job postings, our team will highlight your company and provide the additional push needed for your company's job postings to ensure they get in front of students. In addition, not only will Platinum sponsors have access to over 400 UNC's best and brightest students, but they will also be able to bring 6 company reps to the additional Platinum Sponsor Networking Night on Thursday, September the 9th, where company reps will have ample time to engage with and build meaningful connections with students in small group networking sessions. To make the Platinum Sponsor Networking Night even more special, the students you will be speaking with are selected through a matching process, meaning the students were hand-selected by your company among a pool of exceptional students who have expressed interest in your company. Lastly, based on feedback last year, the Platinum sponsorship provided the best value and experience for both companies and students. So I hope you will consider becoming a Platinum sponsor at this year's symposium. Now I will turn it over to Vivian, who will talk more about how to officially sign up for Symposium.
Thank you, Jason. So after hearing all of the amazing benefits, are you ready to connect, engage, and grow at the 2021 Symposium? I'm happy to share that registering for the Symposium has never been easier. Just follow the 3 quick steps. 1, use the CVent link provided in the most recent email that you should have received to access the online registration form. 2, take a few minutes to fill out your company info on said registration form. I promise it won't take too long. And then 3, use a check or a card to pay. The CVent page will walk you through everything finance related, but feel free to reach out to your BD representative with any additional questions. Here's the link for the CVent registration. However, you should have already received this in your most recent symposium email from your BD representative, like I mentioned. Don't forget that payment is due by August 4th, so we recommend that you register sooner rather than later. Slots are filling up quickly. Like always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any symposium rep. We would now like to open the floor to any questions. Feel free to raise your hand or place them in the chat, and we would like to address them.
We'd be happy to send these slides out to you as well, but I'm going to stop sharing my screen just so that we could see everybody.
Yeah, we'll make sure that we send the slides and the recording from this event tomorrow, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But until then, if you have any other questions or want to know any more info, you can follow us on the social media that was on that slide or visit the website to stay updated. And we thank you all so much for your time and for coming out, and we hope that you got some questions answered about Symposium.
All right, well, if there's no questions, I'll go ahead and give y'all the rest of your day back. Thank you so much for attending. We really appreciate it. And feel free to reach out at any point if you want to schedule another meeting or just ask some questions via email. We'd be happy to chat with you. So thank you
Looks
so
like we have a question.
Oh,
Hey,
awesome.
sorry, I was multitasking. As work from home is, I can turn off my camera. I was just wondering if it's possible to, like, this would be our first time participating as Protivity. So would it be possible to, if we were one of the lower sponsors, to still take part in like at least one of the networking events, or is it only if you're at a certain point, if that makes sense? So like, let's the top one has all 3, but we only wanted to participate in one, but wanted to be in a lower one. Like, can you switch that out or anything? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, really good question, Alex. And hello, good to see you.
Hi, you too.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a great question. I will say at the silver sponsor level, that gets you those full day Friday events. So the morning sessions with the networking and kind of the rounds, as well as the afternoon. It is the gold and platinum only that would have the diversity night, and then yes, platinum would have all three of them. So that is kind of how it's laid out this year, and that's how the sponsorship would have to be run.
So you said that the gold has some of the okay, I see it now. I'm looking at the PDF.
Yeah, no,
okay.
it's confusing because there are the different levels and slightly different tweaks between them. But I'll let BD, any of you, if there's any other things you want to share about the different events.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would add to that is I'm looking at the page, but I think it's page 3 of this, or page 4 of the sponsorship packet, kind of outlays what each sponsorship level offers and provides. So I would reference that as you're considering which level you might be interested in, and think about which parts of Symposium are best aligned with what your company needs.
Yeah. That makes sense, and I'm sure that makes it easier on you all instead of creating a la carte options for every company. But definitely something to think about for the future. I'm also a UNC alum, so I attended and I get how the event works, but
Yeah.
was asked to ask. So
no, that's a good question, and you're right. Some events have those options. It's just for this one, with kind of how things are structured, that's how we're doing it. But I'm trying to remember who talked about silver exactly. The silver one, honestly, especially for a first-time attendee, can be a really good way to first-time company attendee. Clearly, you're not wouldn't be a first-time attendee, but a great way to kind of engage, get those like smaller group networking, as well as the benefit of the full career fair concourse experience.
awesome.
Excellent. Any other questions? Clearly you are a Symposium knowledgeable person. So anything else that the BD team could do to help answer any questions?
Was that directed at me again? No, I thought that the PDF, obviously, like I've seen the PDF from the student side. So seeing it from, it's very weird. Whenever you guys are alum and you start getting it, it's very funny. And I didn't think I was that washed up, but I guess I am. So I think it is very informational. And also, I mean, I am trying to help get the recruiting for whoever's watching this recording for UNC. And so we're starting to get our recruiter involved as well. And so she'll be watching me speak on this as well. But it's just good to kind of have the information as someone who's trying to build the relationship, and then have, you guys do really well with having all of the packet like ready. And so it's very clear. And so I'll just make sure that, I would say, is the August 4th date on the packet, or did we just talk about that?
I don't know that it's on the packet, so we can make sure that's clear. And Alex, I know I have a follow-up email to you, and I think Katie is the one that will be watching it, right?
Yep.
So we'll when we get some time to follow up with her, we'll probably have one of the BD team join as well, so we can kind of both in one meeting chat with her, get her up to speed. And obviously we understand you have to sort of make a case internally for these, so we can kind of help explain why certain items have certain value as you decide what's best for Protiviti.
Yeah, thanks. Also, good job, team. I know you guys spend a lot of hours on this, so keep it up. And I'm sure it's going to be a great event, even virtual. So good job with, adapting to the world. It'll look good for your resumes, I'm sure.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, BD team. Thank you for attending, Alex. I hope you have a great rest of your workday, and that you're not having to multitask too many other meetings throughout your day.
Just between Zoom and Teams, you never know, but it's all good. Thanks for your time.
Excellent.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Bye, guys.